I'm Sam.
And I'm Greg.
We're human beings. And we like movies.
We'll be doing reviews of brand new releases,
Old classics,
entire sagas,
and even TV shows and video games.
This is Reaction Time.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 9. Shoot. Hi, everybody.
We'll call it 7.9.
That's still
not-
wrong.
no.
Welcome to episode 9.7. Hi, everybody, and welcome to episode 9 of Reaction Time.
How are you doing today, Sam?
I am doing pretty good. I'm very excited to talk about this movie.
Oh, okay.
Today, we are going to take a look at the movie Chronicle.
I think it's 11 years old. 2012. Yep.
Is it 2012? Oh,
Yeah.
I thought it was 13.
Nope.
11 years old. It was 11 years old a few days ago.
Yeah. And as
On the
per
3rd.
usual, Sam hasn't seen it.
I have not seen this movie, as per usual. We are going to do a spoiler-free section just at the beginning real quick.
Cool.
Because I am going to, just right off the bat, I'm going to say this. I recommend watching this movie.
Okay.
So and I don't think it's a super well-known movie because I don't feel like
No.
I had even heard of this movie.
No.
And so I would recommend that people go watch it. So I'm not going to give you any spoilers because it would ruin the movie.
Yeah.
So anyway, how do you feel about this movie?
So I saw this movie in theaters when it came out, and I think I was like 18. So I loved it when I was 18, and then I saw it again like a year later, and then I haven't seen it since.
Oh, really? So it's
Yeah.
been like 10 years
It's
for
been
you.
pretty much 10 years for me.
Oh, wow. Okay. So this was almost like a first viewing.
Yeah. I knew
you.
everything that was going to happen, but like we've talked about before, looking at like the scoring system and everything, I noticed like these little things. I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
I still love the movie. I would say the beginning was more annoying for me this time than the
Okay.
first time.
Okay.
Just like the first maybe half of the movie.
Okay.
If I had to score it out of a 10, I would probably give it a 8.6.
That was like almost exactly what I was going to give it. I was
Really?
going to give it an 8.7.
Nice.
Yeah. It's just a fun movie. And I've mentioned this before, but it's like, it's just that era of movies that I love for some reason.
Uh-huh.
Like almost every movie from like 2012, 2013, 2014, it's just, there's something about the movies from that era
Yeah.
that's just good.
They're so
I don't know
good.
what it is. I don't know if it's like the lack of corporatism or whatever that's in the movies, if it's just originality or if there's just some sort of flair. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But it was really fun. And I think it's really good. I think it's really fun.
Did you have like some points that you wanted to?
Basically, this movie it's another found footage movie,
Right.
but it's done really well.
Yes.
And it's not really shaky cam or anything.
No.
And it's cleverly used.
Yeah.
And I love that about it.
It's almost like, because there are parts, if there's not like a camera around, they'll use like security cameras from
Yeah.
like buildings and stuff. It was cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. Yeah, it was all like footage, but they did use and they even used another person's camera.
Yeah.
And just stuff like that. I thought it was really clever the way they used it. Nothing was really too shaky. The camera angles they, were clever with and kind of all that stuff. I just think that, I don't know, the movie didn't go where I thought it was going to go.
No. Dude, it's little baby Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, baby Michael B. Jordan. Baby whoever that guy is who plays Harry in The Amazing Spider-Man
Yeah.
2.
Yes. The second one. He's not in the first.
Anyway, I mean, I don't have like a ton of non-spoiler stuff to say about this movie, but basically it's about some kids who find a radioactive something
Yeah.
and kind of
Stone
get
or
like
something.
powers a
Yeah.
little bit. And that's all I'll say about that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, that's pretty much all that I have to say non-spoilery. Do you have anything else?
Like you said, I would recommend it.
And it's a pretty short movie.
Yeah. An
It's
hour
not
and
super
20
long.
minutes.
Yeah.
I'd go into it blind if you haven't seen a trailer for it.
Yeah, don't watch a trailer.
Because
Yeah.
it's really cool. We've pretty much said all you really need to know. It's just cool. It's a different take on like powers and stuff.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It is. It's
Yeah.
very different. So with that said, we're going to jump into spoilers now. So if you want to stop this and go watch the movie, it's awesome. So I would say go watch it because it's really fun.
Yeah. It is a fun movie.
Okay, let's get into spoilers.
All right.
Okay, so you told me, we usually watch like a couple movies at a time.
Yeah.
And then kind of record the podcast.
Yeah.
So we are watching Chronicle
Yep.
and Get Out. And Craig had told me basically like he had said, oh, this movie gets really dark.
Yeah.
And I couldn't remember which one you had said that
Oh,
about.
really?
And so I was going into this movie and I kind of figured, I was like, okay, maybe it was just Get Out. Cause like I figured Get Out is dark, right? Cause it's like a thriller and all that stuff. And so the movie starts, they find that radioactive thing. They get superpowers. I'm like, this is like fun. Like,
Yeah, they're just goofing
just
around.
like some goofy teenagers. Like the guy who's depressed gets kind of happier and more friendly. And, you know, they're
playing pranks on
They're
people.
playing pranks. They're, you know, they learn to fly, all this stuff. And then holy Moses, it gets so dark so fast.
Dude,
I
it's
thought they were
so
just gonna
fast.
basically like have some fun, maybe run into like some trouble that they have to get through, and then it was just gonna kind of end.
They are the trouble.
It got so dark
Oh, yeah.
and so sad so fast.
So fast.
Like on a dime. And I
Yeah.
can't even remember why the main guy gets so is it because of the party?
Yeah, it's because of the party. Because he throws up.
Yeah, he throws up and
So
just-
basically, he's like the nerdy kid in school. I
Yeah.
wouldn't even necessarily
Not
say the
nerdy.
nerdy kid, but
He's
he's
just
just
a-
the one that gets bullied,
Yeah.
right? He's
Yeah.
a weird looking kid. He's very shy, doesn't talk to anybody. And so he goes to this party because he does this talent show and he gets really popular from it. And
using his powers.
using his powers. And so Michael B. Jordan is going to look for him and he knows he's upstairs with this girl. And so he's like super excited because,
Yeah.
you know, he's basically the main person had said, you know, he's a virgin and stuff. And so Michael B. Jordan's like, oh, our little boy's growing into a man. You know,
Yeah.
he's super excited. And he doesn't open a door. The lady comes out with puke all over her, like screaming. It's like, oh, you're disgusting or something like that. And then he goes in there and he's kind of joking about it. And
Yeah.
the kid doesn't find it funny at all. He's
Yeah.
like super insecure about it, freaking out. And then he flies up and
Yeah.
then there's like a lightning storm. And that's kind of where it starts to just like flip. And it,
Yeah. And it flips
and it flips hard.
so fast. We're in spoiler territory, so
Yeah.
he flies up there, and I think he's causing the lightning. Because
I don't know if he's causing it or it's just a lightning storm.
I
And
guess
then
so. Because the
he's-
friend asks, he's like, "How does he get hit by lightning in a
Right.
in a storm with no
think
lightning
he-
strikes?" But
I think he attracted one of the strikes. I don't
Oh.
even know if he attracts one of the strikes or it just he was up there trying to help him out and just happened to get struck.
maybe.
Because I don't really know if you can do much with telekinesis to control lightning. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. Judging by all the things that he ends up doing towards the end of the movie, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
But because it seemed like the angrier he got, the more lightning there was. So that's why
Right.
I kind of
That's
thought
what I
like
thought too.
He was maybe not controlling the lightning, but just from energy or whatever, it was there was more and more lightning as
It could be,
it
yeah.
went. So then he dies.
Yeah.
And then what's the main guy's name?
The Michael B. Jordan is Steve because Steve Montgomery for class president. or
Main guy's
whatever.
Andrew.
Andrew,
And then
that's
Matt
what it
and then
is.
Steve.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay,
It was one of them.
so Andrew's the main guy.
And then he just keeps getting worse.
He turns into a psychopath,
yeah.
like almost on a dime.
Right.
And
I think he just finally he was boiling up so much and holding so much in, and he just
Yeah.
finally popped. Matt basically tells him that you killed him without saying it,
Yeah.
which I'm sure he already thought that happened because of him. And then he just flips, and he's like, "I'm the apex
yeah,
predator."
he's like, I'm the apex predator. And it's just
a lion doesn't get upset when it takes down a gazelle. And
right.
he's like,
Yeah, it doesn't
"I
feel.
think that-"
He said the lion doesn't feel guilty when it
That's
kills a
what- yeah.
gazelle, and it's like,
He's like, that really sticks with me.
like,
And then he just
bruh.
crushes a car.
I love how fast this movie turns.
Yeah.
Because usually it's a pretty slow build. You see it coming, kind of.
Yeah.
This one, like I obviously could tell that he was kind of angry and stuff,
Right.
but like I didn't expect that at all.
No.
And he just goes berserk, and then the second half of the movie is
It's not even this. It's like the last. It's,
the
like
la-
20
it is.
minutes.
It's like the last
It's
20 minutes.
quick.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's
I just
really
freaking
cool.
I loved it so much.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so awesome. Can we get into categories and
Yeah,
scores and stuff?
let's do it.
I'm just like so excited to break this movie down and like my
Nice.
thoughts and stuff.
I'm
'cause
glad you liked it.
I had fun. This was
This was what
had
Cloverfield
This
should
had
have
the
been.
vibes of what I wanted Cloverfield
Yeah.
to be, for sure.
Without any monsters. Well, technically, Andrew's kind
Well,
of a monster.
he's kind of a monster. Not the best guy.
So the two biggest things for me rewatching it. One, I noticed how bad the visuals were.
So, yeah, okay, go on.
Yeah. At certain points, they look really good.
Yeah.
But a lot of little points look like pretty dang bad.
Right.
And then the other part was when I first watched this, I was like pretty much just out of high school and stuff. And so the high school personalities didn't bother me. But then rewatching it again, it was like sometimes just way over the top. And I was like, oh, okay, you're slightly annoying.
People really struggle to figure out what people are actually like in high school.
Right.
Because like I've never seen a movie where I'm like, yep, that's what high schoolers are like.
I know, right?
Nah, like not even once, which is so weird because it's like, didn't anybody go to high school like or hire a consultant and just like listen to them talk, you know?
Yeah.
Like hire a 17-year-old and just be like, can you just like hang around set and let me know if like people are actually like this? I don't know. It seems like a simple movie making trick that you know one could use, but yeah. Sorry, do you have more to say about just kind of the
that was just my two biggest things
Okay.
that changed having not seen it for like 10 years.
Yeah.
So just noticed a lot of the visuals and stuff. You know, like the first time they're throwing like the baseball and Andrew stops the baseball in front of him.
Yeah.
And it's just like this horribly, it's almost like crop and paste
The
of baseball.
composition is pretty iffy in like a lot of it. So yeah, like the effect itself is good. Yeah.
The juggling looked really
yeah.
bad.
The juggling was bad. So
And then just kind of like,
here's the
sometimes when they
thing.
were flying, it was just weird looking.
Almost always when they were flying, it looked pretty bad.
Yeah.
But then a lot of the telekinesis looked pretty good.
Yeah. And the ending when they were flying around, that actually looked
I
pretty
feel like
good.
they put a lot more into kind of the big final battle type of stuff, you know, which makes sense. I did notice that the movie, just almost every aspect of the movie got progressively better.
Yeah.
So like at the beginning, I like noticed the acting was like, and then it got better.
Yeah, it got
kind
better.
of as we went. So let's start with visuals. Do you want to give a score first or thoughts first?
I mean, I kind of gave a good amount of my thoughts.
Okay.
I would say like the end battle stuff looks pretty good. And kind of like we were talking about before, that's really more towards the end where you start to see the different camera angles and stuff.
Yeah.
Like Andrew lands in the hospital, and so it'll pan to the hospital security camera, which has no volume or anything, which is cool.
Yeah, that was
right?
cool.
Because the dad's like yelling at him and everything. And then it would pan towards the camera that's in the room because they needed the camera there because he had, I can't remember, he had blown up the gas station accidentally.
Yeah.
And so they were like, we need this for investigation
because
obviously they figured that he was a problem. But just like little stuff like that was really cool when it would switch between the cameras.
It was very clever.
Yeah, it was really clever.
Yeah.
But there was a good amount that just didn't quite look good. I don't know. I'd say 157.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. Pretty average.
Yeah.
So here are some of my thoughts.
Okay.
Like I said, the CGI I think just got better. The flying was always kind of iffy.
Yeah.
A little better towards the end, but it's just kind of more the composition than the actual like stunt itself. Like because it's less of like a superhero flying and more of just like hey, we're just like people who figured out how to fly, right? So it's like
they're like twirling
they're
in
just
the
like
air.
kind of hanging out in the air, you know?
Yeah.
So that portion of it was fine, but I noticed most of the telekinesis was actually, I think, pretty good.
Yeah.
Like almost felt more real than if it had looked really good CGI-wise.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Which I know is kind of confusing, but maybe if you watch it, you kind of get it. But one scene I thought was so cool was the spider scene.
Yeah.
He lifts up that spider and then he goes, poof, and he just like separates the
All the
spider
legs.
into all the parts. And it looked so good.
It looked really good.
Composition looked good. It just looked perfect. And I was like, that's really cool. So they definitely like put time and effort into certain things.
This was such a memorable scene.
This was probably a relatively low budget movie.
I think so.
But like that scene stuck with me. At the end, I'm going to talk about this scene like 7 times, but when he gets skewered at the end,
Dude,
that looked great too.
It looked really good.
I was like,
and they replayed it like 3 times.
Yeah, I know. It's like for no reason. They're like, it was like boom, 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 like 3 different angles. It was like, okay, you really wanted us to know what just happened to this guy.
Yeah.
So I thought the visuals were pretty good, and I'm giving it kind of extra credit points for the clever use of doing found footage while not doing it shaky, because they were like, oh, he can just basically, he's so good with the camera And I guess if you haven't seen the movie, the main character he basically just decides he wants to film everything kind of in his life. And so once they get these telekinetic powers, he's like, oh, I'm like so good at this. I can kind of just like have this camera in the air filming me all the time and hardly have to think about it at all. And so that's when the camera almost starts to feel more like a normal camera in a normal movie. And it's just really clever. And then, they jump back and forth between different cameras. So I'm giving it extra credit for that because they were very clever with that.
Very clever.
A lot of the CGI was good at the end. The explosions looked great.
Yeah.
The few that they had. So I'm going to give this like a 166.
Okay.
It was.
I thought you might score it a little higher.
It's.
I guess there's just a lot of little things. Like the Legos didn't look super great.
Legos were iffy. The magic, the juggling was iffy.
The cards coming up and stuff.
Cards.
I do see what you mean though, where obviously we can't do this in real life. So it would look off. You know? So it kind of, you almost wonder like how would it look?
Yeah,
you know?
It's weird.
It's weird.
It's weird because as far as stuff like that goes in CGI, like there's no perfect way to do it because we don't actually know what a lot of it looks like, right? Yeah. We don't know what people look like if they fly. Yeah. Really. I mean, you can guess your best, but nobody's ever really, really flown. And the best you can do, the best you can do is people possibly like jumping on a trampoline, or jumping really far off of something, but there's still gravity involved in that. So we never really see somebody just not have gravity, I guess, except for space and stuff. So
yeah, but even then it's different.
But even then they're not able to propel themselves without something. Right. So again, it's just like it's anybody's guess. Yeah. Right. So, but the visuals, they never really took me out of it. Even if I was like, oh, the flying, like I noticed that the flying was iffy, but I wasn't like, oh, like that's so distractingly bad. It was like, it's 2012. I don't really care.
The only times that it was weird was when the couple times that they would like turn around and fly away. For some reason, it looked funny to me.
Yes, that was
like Matt flies into Andrew's room after like a bunch of stuff has happened, and he's like yelling at him and everything, and then he just flies off, but he just turns around and just like stands in this weird position and just starts propelling off. So
there were little things like that because so if you see something move left to right, there's motion blur like on a camera. But if something gets farther away, there's not motion blur, and I think they put motion blur on it. Even though he wasn't moving side to side, he was just moving. And so it kind of got that weird look where it's like, I know that that's wrong. And so it just something felt a little off, And so I did notice those things, but it was like, whatever. And by the end of the movie, I was like, I don't care if anything in this movie was bad because the ending was
so good.
Dope.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
What about the story?
So I think it's a pretty good story. They do a lot of little foreshadowing, with the dad. Yeah. And that's why I think that's why he starts filming, is because I think he wants somebody to see or him as himself be able to look back and see those scenes and maybe, I don't know if change it or something like that. But I think that's mainly where he starts recording, because at the very beginning, his dad's trying to get in the room and he's like, I'm recording everything now, so you can't talk to me this way. And the dad just stops. Yeah. Right. And then like a little while later, he just throws him on the ground and is like, you open the door when I tell you to, but he doesn't know that there's a camera that's recording him. So I like the story. I think the beginning, like up until kind of the craziness happens, I thought it flowed pretty well. I think certain parts dragged a little bit for me, but not like, it wasn't too bad. I mean, it's a short movie.
Yeah, it's pretty short.
But when they get into so they go into this like grocery store and they're pulling pranks on people. And one of my favorite parts is when they take the teddy bear off of the thing and scare the little girl, right? So they make the bear float and like talk to her. Yeah. And so she starts like screaming and freaking out. But I would give the story like a 170.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a pretty good story.
Yeah. Okay, I have a few notes. I might have to see if you can explain some of these to me.
Okay.
Because I wrote some things like pretty vague, and I'm like, what is that?
You're like, I can't remember.
One of my notes says he grabs his arm and blows the window out.
Oh, yeah, in the hospital, the dad.
Oh, that's what, okay. I was wondering because the dad, okay, sorry, I'm remembering now.
You're good.
Okay, this is kind of story, kind of writing, kind of action. I don't know. I didn't know where exactly to put it, so I just put it in my story notes, but I guess I'll start kind of at the beginning. So, first of all, when they learn to fly, and maybe this is visuals, I don't know. They're just beats that I just love that they put in there that I just think were cool. When they learn to fly and then the plane flies by them, it's just so cool.
It was cool.
It just felt awesome. I don't know. I mean, that's kind of all that is.
No, it was cool.
I
it didn't need to be in there.
No, but it was just
added this.
Yeah, it was so fun.
Cool little thing to it.
The fact that it just got so dark so fast and just escalated just insanely quickly. I'll say this as many times as I have to. It was so fun.
Yeah.
It was just so cool that, especially just not seeing it coming. Really, it was just, I don't know. It was really fun. I just like the story because it's a really basic story.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was done really well. You know, it's just like they didn't really explain too much. They're like, hey, we found this thing underground and we got near it and now we have powers. And it's like, you know what? I didn't really need more than that.
No.
I would be fine if they gave me more, but I didn't feel lacking at all.
Yeah.
At first I thought it was going to be because they were like, we have powers now. And I was like, oh, is this going to be about like, what is this thing? That thing is never mentioned again.
No.
That
he basically, at the very
underground.
end, he says, I'm going to figure out what did this to us. And that's it.
And that's it.
And I think they revisit that site and you see like it's getting closed off.
Yeah.
So I think
they go back and then the cops are like kicking them out and stuff. But then they get powers and that's the movie.
Which is cool.
It's
so you don't really need to know.
Yeah.
They just get telekinesis.
They just made it to be a fun movie. Like that's kind of it. And then when he hits him with the bus.
Oh, dude.
Solid.
That was good.
So good.
Just little things like that.
And then just the end, again, I'm going to talk about this 10 times. At the end, it's his cousin. And they're like, he's like trying to stop him from just being this. Okay, well, sorry, I have to go back. The hospital. Okay.
Yes.
That writing was so good because he accidentally blows up a gas station.
Yeah.
And gets knocked out from it, goes to the hospital. Then his dad shows up. And this whole time his dad's been abusing him, yada, yada. Basically, his dad shows up. He's sitting there. Andrew is unconscious, or so we think.
Yeah. I mean, he probably mainly
is. And
he's all burned up from the gas station.
His dad gets so mad at him. And
because his dad had went out to look for him, and then his mom died while his dad was gone.
Yeah, his mom had cancer or something.
Yeah.
And then, his dad's just getting progressively angrier and angrier. And then he's finally like, I know you can hear me. And he goes to like, does he go to hit him or put his hand on him or something?
No, you can hear the heartbeat start to tick up though.
And then Andrew, his eyes open all the way.
Yeah.
And he grabs his arm. And then there's just an explosion. He just basically blows up the hospital room up at like the top floor.
Yeah.
And it's so cool.
It's cool.
That is one of the best scenes of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
And then the final battle ensues because his cousin's the only one left because Steve has died. And then they're basically fighting and it's just like, and that's when he hits him with the bus. And then Matt's on the ground and he's like, don't make me do it. Don't make me do it. Don't make me do this. And Andrew's probably about to kill everybody.
Oh, yeah.
And then Matt just like takes this spear from this statue and just launches it through Andrew. And he's basically skewered and he's like floating in the air. Like because this spear is just suspending him.
Dude.
A beautiful death.
Oh, yeah.
Just like, so cinematic and oddly satisfying.
Yeah.
Just, they did that so well.
So I forgot to talk about something. So mark me up to 175 because the coolest thing that I like about this movie, I said this in Cloverfield. It's a different take than normal, right? In Cloverfield, in Cloverfield, the ending is crazy. Mm-hmm. In this one, this is 3 basically high schoolers that get superpowers. Yeah. And it's not a, saving everybody.
It's not a superhero movie at all.
It's not.
Yeah.
But in the same sense, it is because they're not superheroes, but they have superpowers.
Yeah, they're super people.
And so it's a really cool thought of what would happen if 3 random high schoolers got superpowers, right? Because you got to think about it, right? They're 16, maybe 17 years old. And so they still haven't fully matured. So they still don't quite fully understand everything, but they have to mature because they have these powers because they can easily kill somebody, without even meaning to. And so I love it's just realistic.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Pretty much.
Pretty much. If you think about it.
It's as realistic as something like that could be.
Right. Because you think of somebody that is not okay, that gets superpowers, and just keeps getting pushed and pushed and pushed, you know. I mean, he keeps getting pushed by his dad. And then the biggest thing that triggers him at the end is that Matt saves his dad.
Yeah.
Because he says it. He's like, why did you save him? And then he goes after Matt because Matt's just trying to help him out, right?
Yeah.
And he doesn't want him to die.
Yeah.
And so I love that side of it.
Yeah, and it's because it's like a super person movie.
Yeah.
But it's not like another superhero movie because it's not in a universe where superheroes exist.
No.
As far as we know. And so it's not like, oh, I just got superpowers. Like now I'm going to go be an Avenger. Like it's not that. It's like I'm 16 and now I can do crazy things.
Yeah.
And so I think it's brilliant. I'm going to give this story a 191.
Cool.
Which might feel high, but it's just like, I just had so much freaking fun watching the movie. And the story was like compelling. The characters were compelling. And like, again, it felt very realistic, even though people are doing these, you know, telekinetic things, but it just, the characters themselves felt very real and true to like actual people. So
yeah. And like you said, it just got better and better.
Yeah.
You know, especially at the end, the acting is better. And I think they hit the story beats so well.
Yeah.
You know, and I try and think about if they didn't have that stuff at the beginning, you know, it wouldn't have hit as hard.
Yeah.
You know, because they honestly, they build a really good relationship with the three of them in a very short time.
They do, yeah.
Yeah. You know,
it's very quick.
Very quick.
Yeah.
Because even the other cool thing I liked is it's very quick to get to that part too.
Yeah.
Basically, he shows you his school, they go to a party, and there's where they find the rock. Right. Another cool thing I forgot to talk about in the visuals, I love when his sweat is coming off of his face and going the wrong gravity towards the stone. It's just little cool things like that look really cool.
I want to rewatch this movie like really soon. I honestly might watch it like
I'll let you borrow it again
soon because
it's not on anything.
No, it's so fun.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, let's talk about the acting.
This one's only a little hard because it started out a little rough. I think Michael B. Jordan was definitely the best.
Yeah.
For me.
And he played a little bit of a different character than I usually see him play.
Well, right. I mean,
he's
like a high schooler,
yeah,
right? You
know?
I'm thinking of, you know, Black Panther or
Creed or something. Yeah, and he's like this total bad A and everything.
Yeah.
It's just like now he's just like a...
This is like he's trying to do the senior president of the class or whatever, you know?
So he's like he's like the smart, popular kid, you know? So it's like, it's different.
I thought the dad was really good too.
Yeah.
Honestly, he's not in a lot of scenes, but he does really well. I would almost say Matt might have been the least for me until the end.
Yeah, the end was...
Then he gets really good. Yeah. So, I don't know, not was horrible, but it wasn't anything like, oh my gosh, that was some of the best acting I've ever seen. Oh, like a 164.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
What are your thoughts?
I feel very similarly. Like at the beginning, I wrote this note down like probably 10 minutes in. My note says the acting is pretty mediocre. And it was. I mean, at the beginning, it was like, oh, they're trying to do high schoolers, but the directors obviously don't know what high schoolers are like. And that's not what high school's like and stuff. And then it just like keeps getting better and better. And then once they get their powers, I think that's when the acting gets better because they're, like we mentioned, they're acting like teenagers who got superpowers.
Right.
And so it kind of enhances some of the immaturity, but you can also tell that they're getting a little bit more serious about what you can and can't do.
Yeah.
Especially once Andrew kind of pushes that car off the road.
And that's kind of where it's just like this instant realization and you're like, oh crap.
That's kind of right when the movie like gets dark.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit.
Starts there because then they start like, we can't do that, right? And so Andrew's like, I don't know why you guys are so upset with me. And that's where the realization hit, where it was like, whoa, okay, hold on. This could turn out badly.
Right.
You know?
That's when I realized that it might not just be a fun movie.
Yeah.
You know, like it might not just be like some people with superpowers like having a good time.
It gets
and
real.
It's like, oh no, something's going to happen. So the acting did get a lot better towards the end. Andrew, who I just like, this might sound mean. So he was Harry in the Amazing Spider-Man movie.
Not good.
And I just hated him in that movie.
Uh-huh.
I really liked that movie, and I know that's a hot take, but I just didn't like him in that movie. And I think it's mostly I didn't like the way that he looked. I think it was like the
that makes
hair or
sense.
something.
Yeah.
And
I 100% agree with that.
That just left a sour taste for the actor in my mouth, even though that has nothing to do with him. Because I think he's a fine actor.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him in a lot of stuff. This was actually probably the second movie I've ever seen him in.
I think he's only been in a couple.
But he's just like, he's one of those actors, and here's my Star Wars thing. So, for example, George Lucas cast Hayden Christensen, and he said, I wanted somebody who you could already just see as a person. They have a little bit of like darkness in them.
Okay.
And that's how I feel about this actor. Like, he could be the nicest guy on earth, but you look at him and you like kind of see him talking stuff, and you're like, there's some like little bit of darkness in this person, which would help just kind of portray that more on screen.
Okay. Yeah, I like that.
So that's how I feel about this actor is like, most people are pretty nice people. So he's probably a pretty nice guy.
He probably is.
Maybe he's not. I don't know. Maybe he's a murderer. I haven't looked him up or anything.
Serial killer.
But you can just like look at him and you can just tell there's like a little bit of that darkness in there. And you just see it build. And he just got really good. And towards the end, once he kind of snaps into that psychopath thing, I thought he was really, really good.
Oh, really good.
Michael B. Jordan. I mean, he was
very charismatic.
Yeah. Just pretty fun to watch.
Yeah,
I don't know. I like him.
Yeah, he was fun to watch.
And then the cousin was good enough.
Yeah,
you know? But yeah, the acting did build really well. So yeah, 165.
Okay, yeah.
Did I won up? I won up
you
you,
pointed more than me.
Yeah, I mean, if I could separate it into halves, the first half would get 100, and the second half would honestly get probably like a 190 or so.
Yeah,
but just to
really
kind of, you have to average it out through the whole movie. But yeah.
So it was funny. My story's actually reversed with him. Because I saw him in Chronicle first. And then when I heard he was cast in The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, because that was after.
I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be awesome because he was great in Chronicle.
And you didn't like that movie.
I hated that movie with every fiber of my being.
I love that movie. I don't know why. I think a lot of movies that I love is more nostalgia than anything.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll have to look at all the Spider-Man movies and rank them.
That would actually be pretty fun.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. Here's a quick spoiler. The best part of that movie is when she dies.
Don't say that. I mean, yeah, it is
that scene is actually very well made.
That's a great scene.
Very, very well made.
I cried so bad. Bro.
But the rest of it's dumb.
Whatever. We'll talk about it later. This is the second time we've brought up this movie and said we were talking about it later. We will talk about it later.
Yeah, we'll talk
Maybe
about
when the
it
next
later.
Spider-Man. Maybe when Spider-Verse comes out, we can talk about all the Spider-Man movies.
That'd be fun.
Just maybe as like a bonus episode the day before or something.
Yeah. What's next?
The next is the score and the sound.
Okay. So like Cloverfield, I mean, there is some music in this, but it's like rave party music.
Yeah.
Something that I wanted to bring up in the visuals. Sorry.
Go ahead.
At the first party or the second party, my goodness, the flashing. I don't know if they were trying to give people seizures or something.
But probably the first one.
I think it was the first one. It wasn't even like disco balls or like, it was like it's like they filmed the scene and then intentionally just put flashing over top of it.
Yeah.
It was so distracting for me.
I don't think I really noticed it.
It was bad.
Interesting.
I was like,
I'm gonna have to watch it.
My wife's like, are they trying to give people seizures here and
Weird.
there? And I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, the flashing is really bad.
That's weird that I don't feel like I even noticed
Yeah,
that.
you probably didn't. You'll watch it again, you'll be like, oh my gosh, okay, that is
Interesting.
Kind of bad. It was weird. It wasn't like it was purposeful flashing. Like it was flashing on them. It was just literally overlapped on the screen. So anyways, side note, score. I mean, everything sounded good. There wasn't really any music other than the rave and parties. But like the little sound design when they touch the rock and it kind of freaks out the camera and everything sounded really cool.
Yeah.
It's one of those, it's hard because I'm like, everything sounded great.
It was one of those things where it was at the point where you just don't notice it.
Yeah.
So it was just,
150. I don't know.
It's
just an average.
I'm going to say 152 because it's just like, we're both giving it a 150 because it's
151 for the skewer sound effect. When he gets
Oh,
skewered.
yeah, you're right about that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to give it a
151 and a half. Just kidding.
I'm not giving you 0.5. You can't just rig the system. I'm going to give it a 159.
Okay.
There were just certain things that just like they used sound very well to enhance. So like when he gets skewered, the bus, the plane,
I'd even say the hospital when there's no music.
The hospital.
That was pretty good. Okay, so maybe
the silence
Yeah.
is brilliant.
is very good.
So yeah, I'm gonna,
Okay, yeah, okay. I'll do that. Yeah, 159.
Oh, you're
I'll match
changing.
you.
You're
Yeah.
changing for the third time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
159.
Yeah. I forgot about the hospital. That's really cool. I love the absence of sound.
You have never changed your score so much in an episode. You like retroactively changed like the visuals.
I know for some
No,
reason.
the story.
I keep thinking
It's
about
fine.
stuff, and then I'm like, oh wait,
It's fine.
why don't you change the scores?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't even know if I had any notes for it.
No, I would say that would honestly be my only note.
My one note says really good sound effects. So
Okay, yeah. Well, there you go.
yeah, there it is.
It's average sound effects that sound great. Yeah, the hospital scene was really cool.
Yeah.
With the absence of sound, and just that's also really cool when the wall blows up. When you were talking about,
Yeah.
it's in that security camera too. So this is cool
Really
stuff
cool.
like that.
Really, really cool.
Okay, vibe.
Dude.
What's your vibe?
199.
Wow. Really?
I so loved this movie.
Okay.
And I just had so much fun that I could ignore anything that was even remotely wrong with the movie.
Okay.
Like the whole they got powers and I think it was like the shock and the twist and stuff. And I was just like, the more the movie went on, the more fun I was having. And by the end, when he gets skewered, here's my fifth time talking about this. I'm not even kidding you. My mouth was agape for like 10 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Like, cause I didn't see it coming at all. And then it's
Yeah.
just like, he's like, don't make me do it. It's like, and he just gets stabbed. And I was just like, and I literally did that. I'm not even kidding. My mouth dropped as far open as it could get. And I was just like shocked. And then they replay it. And I was like,
because that's what it is. He's like, don't make me do it. And you don't know anything. And then they quickly pan up to the statue. And then it like instantly happens. So you don't even
Yeah.
have time to like, oh my gosh, is he going to do that? It's just, don't make me do it. Don't make me do it. And he looks around and then it pans up and it just, done.
yeah, I just like, and I was like,
So that was
oh
me
my gosh.
the first time seeing it in theaters. My goodness. I was just like, this was the craziest
Yeah.
movie ever.
Yeah.
Like, what the crap am I watching? Like,
just a blast, dude. It's
Yeah.
just so fun.
it's a fun movie.
Yeah. So I'm giving it a 199.
Okay.
Do I have any other notes?
Ooh, 199.
No, that's pretty much it. I mean, it's
Okay.
just like, it's just fun. And
What is the 1 point off for, if you don't mind me asking?
the 1 point off is, what is the 1 point off?
You did this to me in Hidden Figures, so.
That's actually it's a good question. It's probably just like it's probably the high school stuff.
Yeah.
That's probably mostly it. It's probably just like some really minor things at the beginning of the movie where I'm like,
Yeah.
whatever.
And some of the acting was a little.
Yeah, it was just
lame.
it was just like the beginning of the movie like had some stuff that was like pretty meh, but like it was still intriguing, so I didn't care too much. But it's just like 1 out of 200 points off. You
Okay.
know.
185.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I like I said, rewatching it again, it definitely, the beginning vibe was a little bit more annoying for me, but I still love this movie. It's so good.
So
It's
good.
one of those. It's one of those where I'm like, yeah, I can rewatch this movie.
Yeah.
This is a good movie.
Yeah. I'm gonna rewatch it. This honestly might become like a staple of like just movies I
Yeah?
like. I don't think it's gonna like make my top 5 or anything, but I feel like it can become a movie where I'm like, I want to watch a movie. I'll be like,
We can watch
I watch
Chronicle. Yeah.
You know, it's just like one of those things. Like
Because it's short.
it's short.
Yeah.
It's fun. I'm sure that I'll catch some different things that I didn't catch before.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's just like it was so dark, but I had so much fun.
Uh-huh.
So I can get a little bit of both worlds.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah,
Okay.
it's so fun.
I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah, me too.
I was excited for this month.
This is a good month.
Yeah,
of
this is a good
movies.
month.
Good month of movies.
Oh, dude. The next 2 is going to be more fun. And then Ant-Man, dude.
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man's going to be great.
We got this one, then we got Ant-Man, then we
Yep.
got Get Out.
Yep.
And then is there another one? Do we have planned already or no?
There's the last 2, Game Night and Annihilation.
Oh yeah.
Because we're going to do a bonus episode.
I think so.
Yeah. We're not sure when it'll be, but
Man.
we'll do like 2 episodes in 1 week just so that, because we love you guys. So
Yeah.
we want to give you more.
Give some extra movies. You have
Any other
final
thoughts? Yeah.
Oh, me?
I don't.
You?
Oh, I have one more final thought.
Okay.
And I didn't talk about it in the story. The very, very, very ending I love how when they're in the library and they're talking about like flying around the world and going to places.
Yeah.
And Andrew's like, I would love to just go to Tibet because it would just be super peaceful, be like with the monks there and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love how Matt flew to Tibet and just
Yeah.
left the camera there and was just like, I hope you know I still love you. And I hope he doesn't apologize. He says, I hope you understand why I did what I did.
Yeah.
You know, because what else could he have really done?
That's such good writing because he
It's
could
really
have
cool.
apologized, right? He could have been like,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Like, I shouldn't have killed you. But like,
What else could he have done?
He had to do that.
Andrew was more powerful and he was unhinged and nobody could do anything. I mean, he had just blown all the police officers and everything away. And so it was just, it was really cool. So I like how it just ends with almost no sound. I think there's just a slight breeze and it's just Tibet and it's just cuts to black. It's a cool little part that I forgot about. But
yeah, this movie's crazy fun, man.
yeah. You have any final thoughts?
No, I think I said everything. Basically, I said over and over, it got dark. I had a lot of fun, and
You love the
he was
skewering
skewered.
part?
I just loved that so much.
You talked about an Avatar when the guy got skewered, so that's all you need in a
That
movie.
honestly, you're right, dude. I love a good skewering.
Oh, one final note. So at work, during a good amount of our lunch times, we'll play Super Smash, and there's a certain character in there that you can do a certain move that basically skewers the person, and then you like can hit them out of it. And I did that to Sam. And what did you say? You were like, oh, that reminds me of that movie I watched just barely or something.
Yeah,
It was so funny.
What happened?
I don't know.
To remember.
Because I had skewered you with the character.
Yeah.
And then I killed you off of that. And I think you had just said like, man, that reminds me of a movie I just
was
watched.
really funny. Yeah.
Because we don't talk about the movies, right? We leave it for you guys. And so
every once in a while I'll drop little hints about
so
what we just
dying.
watched. Oh, so funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you think you gave this movie?
Oh crap. 786.
That's so low.
I thought I gave like a good 100, maybe. Okay, hold on. 823.
That's a way better guess. You gave it 840.
Oh wow, that's higher than I
not
thought.
bad.
I thought I gave three things like 150, so I was like minus 150, and then I gave a little lower, but I guess not.
You only gave two things in the 150s.
Oh, okay. I guess I kept changing my scores. That's why I couldn't think of it.
Every time I look at your score, I'm blurring my eyes so I don't see my scores.
Because Sam is a cheater.
I would say I gave everything higher than you.
I think so.
I'm going to give it 8. I always do this. I start my number and then I think about it. I don't know why I do that.
You're thinking about it too much. What comes to your head?
888.
Oh,
What
okay.
if? That would be cool.
That would be cool. I think it's higher than that.
You think so?
Yeah, I think it's higher than that.
It probably is. Oh, I gave two things in the 190s. It's for sure higher.
Yeah, it's higher than that. You get the vibe.
880.
Oh my God.
I was that close. What the heck?
Okay, change your score to have something 8 points higher.
I know, right?
Yeah, because you gave the vibe 199.
I gave the vibe 199. We both gave... Yeah, I gave everything higher than you did.
Yeah.
That movie was just a vibe. And like, if something's a vibe, you got to give it high.
Oh, yeah, of course.
It is a vibe.
I only scored it a little bit lower because I was thinking about it, and I'm like, I gave Hidden Figures 190.
But you can't compare it.
Yeah.
We compare too much. Like,
I
every
know.
time we do a podcast, we're like, but we gave Avatar this thing, and Avatar's pretty good. It's like, it's...
My 15 points off was the beginning.
Yeah.
Just the annoyance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
Yeah. I know we can't compare, but other people are going to compare, so
Yeah.
they're going to be like, oh, you scored this, and then you scored this way higher, but
Yeah.
philosophically, that's not
True.
correct.
You know what I'm going to do?
Okay.
I'm
what are
going
you
to
do?
insert the sound of this guy getting skewered right here.
Okay.
Right now. It's just going to go... It's going to be so fun.
Box office predictions?
Box office predictions.
Oh, gosh. Okay. So, wasn't super well known.
No.
Definitely indie, but I think I obviously knew about it, so it somewhat was well known. One.
Do you want for reference? Cloverfield was a few years earlier and was 194.
I know, but I
Or
don't
no, sorry, no, it was 172.
Cloverfield had all the marketing. I don't think it hit as high.
Exactly. No, I don't think so either. Because Cloverfield, I think, is way more well known than this movie.
137.
That feels like a solid guess.
Yeah. What are you going to guess?
I'm probably going to go lower than that. Because, first of all, I'm always way too high.
Yeah, you are. Except for that one time
Except for the one time I guessed it dead on. But other than that, I've been way too high. Except for Avatar, which I've guessed. You're probably, dude, you honestly might hit the nail right on the head.
I think it might.
Because it's at 2.15-ish right now, I think.
It was at 2.17 over the weekend.
2.17.
So it might even be higher now.
So, and you guys 2.3. Props to you, bro.
And it just finally lost first place at the weekend box office. Wow. To Knock at the Cabin and 80 for Brady.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who gives a crap about Tom Brady?
It was 7 consecutive weeks it was at number 1.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm stoked for the next one.
And it was like barely third place.
Wow. Okay, I'm going to give this 112.
Okay.
I know that feels really low. Watch it be like a $500 million movie.
Oh, no, it's definitely not that.
Like I had some cult following and everyone went to see it like 80 times. All right.
What did I guess? 132?
Yeah.
Okay.
137.
Oh, 137.
Chronicle.
I thought that's what the number was. I was like, oh man, I'm so close. Okay. Dun, 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 dun.
Craig, your guess was pretty good. Like pretty good. Actually, it was pretty close in between the two of us.
Okay.
126.6 million.
Oh my gosh. So that was 11 under for me. And
11 under and 14 over for me.
Oh wow, dude, we were close.
That was really, that was pretty good on both of our parts.
That was pretty good.
126.6, huh?
126.6, yeah. It
That
split,
checks out.
dude. 64 domestic and 62 international.
Yeah, interesting. This was before Michael B. Jordan was
This might have been one of his first
famous. This was
more
before
bigger movies.
The Andrew guy was famous.
Yeah.
Probably. I mean,
it was.
I'm sure there are people who knew who they were beforehand, you know, but
because I wonder now if it had been Michael B. Jordan in his fame, it would be a lot higher, but it also wouldn't work because he wouldn't be a teenager anymore.
I know. Can you imagine this movie with like jacked out of his mind Michael B. Jordan? He would not have died. The lightning would have died.
Oh yeah, the lightning
with the shape that Michael B. Jordan
he would have
is in
boxed
right
the lightning.
He would have punched the lightning in the face. What a great movie. It was like not. Here's the thing: is maybe if you were just a plain old regular movie critic, this would not have been that good of a movie.
It was
Probably would have been fine.
I think 87 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, I don't know if I trust Rotten Tomatoes, but I
Well,
feel like
never.
if you looked at this like a guy who's just like, it's either one of the best movies of all time or it sucks.
Yeah.
Like you'd think this movie's like pretty average, but it's so fun that nothing else freaking matters.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
So
You watch it for the last 30 minutes, especially. Yeah.
For sure.
First stuff is just kind of fun here and there, you know.
Yeah.
But
I highly recommend this movie.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's just like a blast.
if you can't stand high school people, it's short-lived.
It's like that classic thing where they're like, oh, the way people get bullied in high school is still like they get pushed on the ground and like people are going to knock your books out of your hand and stuff. It's like probably nobody's ever done that, honestly. Let's be completely real. That's not how it works.
No.
They talk about your mom and text mean things about you to other people. Like that's what
Push you
real
in a
bullying
locker.
is. Yeah. So,
Dude, we didn't talk about him pulling the teeth out of the bully.
oh my goodness, right? That's when I kind of started to realize I was like,
That's where he went crazy.
yeah, because he pulled him out and he's like, look, I got this one out really cleanly. And I was like, oh no.
Oh, he's just talking about it like normal. He's like, I put the lasso at the bottom, so I got it from the root. And these other two, I didn't do it quite as well.
I love that he talked about the lasso.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool. Where
That's kinda
he
cool.
like had like a physical thing that wasn't actually there. It was clever.
Yeah. Well, please rate and review.
Yep.
We do this every single Friday. We mentioned before we'll probably do a bonus episode this month, and hopefully we can kind of keep doing that. Next week will be Ant-Man.
Yeah. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania.
Yeah.
Just to be completely specific, the brand new one.
We're going to do a spoiler-free episode.
Yeah, we'll do a
and then
full episode,
spoiler
spoiler-free.
episode.
Yep.
So if you haven't seen it, you can listen to that one. And if you have seen it, you can listen to both if you want. Or if you're on the fence, if you want to see it, you can listen to the spoiler one. We'll just kind of see how it goes.
Yeah.
So we'll get that to you at pretty much midnight that night.
Yeah.
Like Avatar.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Just because, join the Discord.
Join the Discord. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on TikTok.
Sam posted videos. Woo!
I'm posting videos. I'm back, baby.
And stay tuned for next week for randomly elevated arches continuously turning inside of new, timeless instruments meeting Ecuador.
Holy Moses, that was a good one. You have the vocabulary of a genius. Oh, well, see everybody next week.
Okay, bye.
Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.